The Pitt Season 2 Episode 9 trailer has just been released, and following the most recent installment, which was focused around us seeing the aftermath of the prevention of the cyber attack, the Pitt went into sheer chaos. Now, I didn't actually think that the most recent episode was as dramatic as the one before, but with the trailer being released for the next one, this is where it looks like all of the panic and stress is going to come from. Especially with it seeming like Mel's deposition is going to begin, and something terrible could end up happening to Roxy. So with that, let's break down the trailer, and I'll also give my theories and predictions on what I think could happen next. Here is the Pitt Season 2 Episode 9 trailer explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. So the trailer for the next episode looks like it's gonna continue on from the very scene and moment where the previous one was left off at, where Dana and Robby were looking at each other and were asking one another how it was that they were gonna deal with the chaos that was unfolding on the floor due to the lack of understanding that everybody had from the systems that they used in the 90s and 2000s before technology was adopted in the way that it is. Dana walked over to the desk and said, "Alright everybody, settle down." This was then followed by Dr. Robby then saying, "I know that it isn't easy. If you have any concerns, just raise your hand." As this was said, there was a shot of Dr. Al Hashimi looking over at Robby with a look of concern on her face, almost like she'd just been betrayed or undermined in some way. We know that there's a feud that's going on between them because Dr. Robby isn't willing to let go of the power that he currently has, and he also doesn't want anything to change in the Pit whilst he's on his sabbatical. And with her trying to implement new methods and him being resistant, that could still be bothering the both of them. Or outside of that, 2 episodes back, we saw that Dr. Al Hashimi froze when she was speaking with the family of a patient. She went inside of her mind and then called the Pittsburgh Neural Science Group and wanted the next appointment. So with the dialogue that Dr. Robby said being centered around it not being easy, I do wonder if something is going to eventually happen to Dr. Al Hashimi whilst under all of this stress and whilst needing to pivot. As Dr. Robby asked if there were any questions, most of the hands in the Pit went up, which showed the sheer amount of distress and confusion that everybody was under. Robby turned to Ogilvie and told him to put his hand down, which I'm glad that he did, because Ogilvie has been the least considerate and most dislikable character in the entirety of the show. So it's about time he got a taste of his own medicine. Dr. Robby was there when he was making all of those horrific comments about Howard and his weight, and I reckon Robby still remembers that. After this, we then got the next section of the trailer, which had Mel being told that she had a visitor and that it was her sister. This was then followed by a shot of Mel going out to the waiting room and hugging her. We first saw Mel's sister in this season 2 episodes back when they were video calling each other, and Mel's sister expressed that she had some discomfort. However, now, with her being inside of the waiting room of the ER, that's most likely going to cause Mel to worry. We know that Mel's sister is one of the main reasons as to why she wanted to work in the medical field, and the care that she has for her is large. So Mel's behaviour throughout this episode is most likely going to be altered because of the worry that she has. When Mel was with Dr. Robby, she said she had a stomachache, but belly pain can mean a lot of different things. Mel said this in a tone which showed that she was getting stressed, and Dr. Robby had to calm her down by simply saying, okay, and interrupting her before she began to properly spiral. From here, somebody else then entered and said, "Dr. Mel King, I'm here to escort you upstairs for your deposition." The way that Mel was frozen in the handshake position long after the person that greeted her had moved her hand showed just how inside of her mind she was, and how worried she was about not only the deposition, but also the life of her sister. Mel thought that her day couldn't have gotten any worse with the deposition being around the corner, but with it now arriving and bringing a side dish of her sister being unwell. With Mel now already beginning to spiral, I think we could end up seeing her breaking down. There was a moment of tenderness and sadness where she turned to Dr. Robby and said, "Right now," and looked up at him with puppy dog eyes because she had bigger things on her mind with her sister at the moment. But sadly, I don't think Dr. Robby is going to be able to save her in this instance. The next part of the trailer then saw a new patient being brought in, and if you're wondering where you recognized him from, yeah, that's the kid in Stranger Things that went viral for the look that he gave as he was going into the tunnel. In this episode, he's playing somebody that had a firecracker that exploded in his hand, and seeing as though it's the 4th of July weekend, I imagine that's an injury that we probably should have expected. He said, "I don't want to see it," and Dr. Santos responded and said, "You don't have to, just look at me." I'm wondering if this is where we're going to see Dr. Santos' turning point and an action that she could make that might get us back on board and on side with her again. She's been the second most annoying character to watch in this season, only behind Ogilvie. But if we see a moment of tenderness and her beginning to actually look like she wants to care for the people that are there, she might get us back on side again. After this, we then saw Dr. Robby, Dr. Javadi, and Dr. Whittaker all running towards an alarm that was going off. It's difficult to tell who it was because we couldn't see their face, so it might be a new patient, and with Dr. Garcia saying to Dr. Javadi, "An hour ago I could have fixed this, now she needs major surgery." It's going to show that whoever it is, Dr. Javadi has made a huge mistake. The look on her face as it seemed like the patient was flatlining showed that she was holding the weight of responsibility for the situation that was unfolding. So I feel this could be the first time we've seen her truly let herself down, or at least feel like it, and it could ultimately mean that she'll get in her head in some way. I did also wonder at the same time if the person that this was happening to was Roxy. In the previous episode, we saw that Dr. Robby suggested upping Roxy's morphine if she was continuing to be in pain, even if it meant that there were side effects and consequences such as the potential of death. This is called the doctrine of double effect, so I wonder if we could potentially be seeing Roxy's condition deteriorate due to the upping of morphine, and that could end up bringing a really sad ending for the character. If that wasn't Roxy in the scene, I do still think we'll see that unfolding over the course of the next few episodes. This will be a moment that will not only break the family of Roxy, the workers, but it will also break us, the viewers, because of the sheer amount of love and support that she's had from everybody around her. After this, there was then a quick succession of shots. One was of Mel running through the hallway, and I'm imagining this could be as she looks to find her sister, or maybe after she's just been notified that her sister's in the waiting room. There was one of a patient being seen to, another of Howard being put into the ambulance to be transported to the other location so that he could actually have a scan done. With there being a phone that Whittaker is holding, it makes me wonder if Howard's sister has actually tried phoning him. He said how he didn't speak with her much anymore, but maybe this will be her reaching out to him. There was also then a shot of what I'm guessing is the young boy with the firecracker accident being loaded onto an actual hospital bed, and then we had the final shot in the trailer. The final shot was Emma and Dana having a conversation with each other. Emma said to Dana, "Is every day like this?" And Dana responded and said, "Minus the cyber attacks? Yeah." This showed us that even though the blackout has made the pit amplify its chaotic nature, the actual nature of the job is chaotic enough as it is. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not actually making that much of a difference. Emma and Dana are a relationship that I'm really enjoying watching on screen. Emma's soft and new to the game, and by pairing her with Dana, the tough one, we're being allowed to see the softer side of Dana coming to the forefront. Then with that, the trailer came to a close. Outside of what we saw in the trailer, I imagine we'll see Dr. Langdon still trying to speak with Dr. Robby following what he said to him on the roof. And I'm also hoping we'll learn a little bit more about what's going on with Dr. Al Hashimi and her mind. So we've still got a fair chunk of episodes to go before the finale, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go from here. So, there you have it, the Pitt Season 2 Episode 9 trailer explained. If you want to see more videos on the Pitt Season 2, then check the playlist below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. What do you think will happen next? Share your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning into the video, and I'll see you in the next one.